Hey guys, welcome to Group Chat.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, and we are ready to prep you for a brand new week with lots of information. And not only that, but we have a very good friend, AJ, on the pod to talk about his new fund and the really great work that they're doing.
And a great opportunity for all the listeners.
Great opportunity for the listeners. Also, I mean, whether you're on the looking for help side or you're looking to deploy some capital.
Yeah.
AJ might be your guy.
Might be. Okay. Check it out.
So we'll give you the full rundown on that. And then we have a lot of news to talk about. I think the biggest topic today is TikTok.
Yeah. We're kind of obsessed.
We're obsessed. And we're not even talking about dancing and whatever. I think we're talking about world domination.
Yes.
I mean, there was a murder mystery live unfolding on TikTok last night that I was captivated by. Probably, if I'm being honest, I probably soaked in 2 straight hours.
Wow. Just on this topic. So I'll give you the full rundown. I think I'm pretty much got it figured out. We'll get to the bottom of this thing by the end of the day. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
What a special day with a very special guest.
Wow. Nice intro.
Well, I mean, this is, I would say, maybe other than Anthony, Brian Toll.
Yeah.
Was one of our real life, very good friends.
Yeah, and this is your second time on the show.
I think so, yeah.
Well, the first time, just for diehard OG Cathys,
Yep.
They'll know the first time you came on is because I was at one of your restaurants and I felt obligated to overtip because you guys were forcing
the tip
a 20% tip on takeout.
Heel tip coffee.
Heel tip.
It's heel tip. Yeah, I remember that. That was Tipgate.
That was Tipgate, which set off a storm in our.
We're the only coffee shop with a POS that forces a tip on you. Nowhere else in the country does that.
Yeah, well, listen, we had to call you in and ask you about it. But you're back.
I'm back.
So
and
AJ Rollan, AJ Rollan is here and he's an entrepreneur, restaurateur,
Sure.
and now investor.
Sure.
I wanted you guys to come on when you announced your fund, but we just, for whatever reason, that never happened. So maybe give us the full background. What are you working on now?
Sure. So first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
The new is last couple of years we've been working on this initiative, venture capital firm. It's called Slauson & Company, early stage firm rooted in this idea of economic inclusion. So kind of the natural progression of my career, the stuff that I do philanthropically on the side. But the idea was essentially to put something together to intentionally seek out founders from historically overlooked backgrounds. So people of color, women. 80% of venture capital that's deployed goes into white men in 6 cities. So our bet is pretty much,
I see a lot of Indians.
Yeah.
What do you mean in 6 cities? Like in the 6 major cities?
White men in 6 cities. So New York, LA, San Francisco. Yeah, where the majority of venture capital go. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. So
I didn't see any coming into Ohio back when I was there.
So the bet is that there's innovation that exists outside of that demographic of people.
And so what's the name of the fund is Slauson & Co.?
Slauson & Co.
And why is that named after Slauson?
So my partner Austin and I, who I've been friends with since high school, we both met off of Slauson, grew up down there, spent a lot of our formative years running around the South LA area. And as we were eventually, thinking about joining forces, just thought of a name. Well, originally, when you think of Slauson, you guys are familiar being in the garment business, but it's a 20-mile stretch, starts on the east side in this blue-collar industrial area, makes its way west towards these culturally rich but underserved, mostly Black and brown communities, and then ends in some of the highest concentration of wealth in the country, Black wealth specifically. So the metaphor there is that there's a Slauson Avenue in every part of the country. So we are a national fund investing in founders all over the U.S.
Nice.
How long ago did you launch?
We started talking about this 2 years ago. We started fundraising last January. So terrible time to launch a first-time fund. But we are officially in business as of January 2021.
But I think great time, right? In the sense of like the awareness of the inequality issues is at like an all-time high, right? Have you sense?
Absolutely. So
white guilt is at all time high.
To kind of put that, it's funny you say that. So we, when we first thought of it, the idea was like, okay, let's go out and raise like a small $10-15 million fund, prove this thing out. A lot of like interested folks, but nobody really pulling the trigger on it. It was like, oh, that's cool. So it just felt like there was a lot of headwinds. And then when the pandemic happened, everything just naturally, all the uncertainty caused everything to pause. And then, the unfortunate circumstances around George Floyd and like the climate around that and folks just not really having much to do because of the pandemic kind of brought our thesis to the top of mind for a lot of the folks that we started speaking to. So what was a headwind kind of became a tailwind. People started reaching out and we were able to make some pretty solid connections that just opened up a whole floodgate of amazing corporations and investors and founders and people that were just down. We actually we're closing our fund this week, much larger than a $10 million fund. We're actually just over 70 million.
Wow.
And the idea is to be able to, put this money to work. So,
what are you guys looking for? Are you guys looking for technology, basically?
Yeah, mostly tech and tech-enabled businesses. Like our thesis is really around SMB tech, so tools that support small business owners and small businesses, and then culturally relevant consumer tech and tech-enabled products. So things that are speaking to a specific subset of the population that just is historically overlooked.
And so when you guys are looking, like, is it mandatory that someone on the founding team comes from an underserved group?
No, we don't have a quota around diversity. We're not specifically saying like we have to invest in this many women or this many Black people. Oftentimes I get asked like, do you guys invest in white guys? Our last investment was actually in a majority white-led team. But the business that they were creating or that they are creating, it's in stealth mode, but it super serves the audiences for the communities that we want to impact. So there was alignment there with our thesis. We believe we could add some value. So we decided to move forward with them.
And when you start going, like, I remember years ago, I was talking to our friend Anthony about it. I was like, why, there's still an opportunity to kind of focus on these underserved groups. And I think, from a LP standpoint, like people that invest in the funds, I don't think they understood that there was. Like when you go and meet like, a Black person, a brown person, a woman, and then you meet the white guy too, like, do you noticeably see a difference in the entrepreneurs?
Not really. It's just who is it that gets the shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you historically look at fund performances, this is not a new thesis. It's happened for years, but the best performing funds are the ones that have like diverse representation within their portfolio, because it's more reflective of society at large, right? Like society is not, mostly white guys. It's a diverse perspective of all of us, right? Everybody in this room. Well, there's no women in this room. It's sausage fest.
Tim is open.
Yeah.
He's open to being one.
Typically if you look at the data, I think Harvard did a study on this, but yeah, they're the funds that do have like not necessarily a diverse mandate, but are, more inclusive in the way that they think about investing tend to perform better. So the way that we look at it, it's like, people wanted to put us in a bucket. You're an impact fund. This is charity. And we're like, no, our number one scorecard is returns. It's cash on cash. It's IRR. We want to be the best, right?
Yeah.
And we want to use this as like our strategy. I mean, it's certainly investing intentionally certainly puts much more work for us, right? Because you have to be mindful of the things that you're putting your money behind. Mm-hmm. But, if we're successful, when we're successful, we hope that, our success financially will inspire more people with much deeper pockets than ours to go out and follow in our footsteps.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Is there a lot of people doing what you're doing?
There's certainly, I think the events of last summer, there's certainly been a rise in like diverse-led funds.
Yeah.
You have funds like, Harlem Capital that has probably done a really good job of building their brand up and on the East Coast. And I think they just raised their second fund, which is great. But, I think there's certainly more, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah. It's so great what you're doing. I mean, I've seen, it's funny because like I haven't talked to you much about it but I just see the articles and I see the stuff you post and all that stuff. And it just seems so well-timed, actually. I know the pandemic was probably a little rough.
Yeah.
But other than that, so well-timed and just so well done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys also aren't like a couple of guys that don't understand it. And like, I think that, look, I don't want to come off like I'm hating on this, but I think that there's a lot of maybe funds or maybe venture capital people that don't actually understand the problem, but are just doing this because it's relevant and it seems like the right thing to do. And maybe they have great intentions. I'm not really saying anyone has bad intentions, but it's different when the group actually understands the problem and knows the people and have been on Slauson and have been in the, you know what I'm saying? Well, like that's what just feels so authentic from you guys.
Yeah, well, that and thank you for that. I think what was super interesting is 30 days after the what happened in Minneapolis, you started seeing all these corporations with these big headlines with all these 9-figure numbers around what they're committing to equality. And I remember picking up the phone and calling Austin. I'm like, man, we got like a 4 to 6 week window to jump in here because that shit's gonna close and we're going back to our regularly scheduled program. But a lot of folks, followed through. A lot of them followed through. They might not have had like the best practices and the infrastructure to support it. Yeah. But from our experience, we've been super fortunate to just have some awesome people involved. It's certainly panned out, and it's still open, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's interesting is like AJ actually cares.
Yeah, that's
like
what I was trying to say.
He's in these streets caring.
It's not like he's like a big venture capitalist who's like, well, we should do this. It'll look good for our press. For
Go
our
find
PR.
me a couple women and dark people.
Anyone know any women?
One thing that I would love to share with you, this was why I was super excited to be here, is one of the things that we did, once the pandemic hit, it was kind of like, well, what do we do now, right? Like majority of my livelihood was like, at the time, aside from raising a fund, was in restaurants and in philanthropy. So my household situation, tips, big in tips. But my partner had the foresight. There was this amazing accelerator program here in LA called Grid 110. It's a nonprofit. It's been funded mostly by the city of Los Angeles and Mayor Garcetti's office. And it's your typical accelerator, except no quota around diversity, but 70% of the people that have gone through their cohorts have been women or a person of color. So they were trying to figure out, well, we have these in-person cohorts. What are we going to do virtually? So we, mainly my partner Austin, wanted to do a test and do a virtual accelerator and specifically focus on South Los Angeles. So they had like a limited run. It was like a 2-week application period just to prove, like, part of the things that we were getting from investors pre-pandemic was, do these entrepreneurs exist? Are there real opportunities amongst this subset of people? And you want to be like, come on, dude. But so we wanted to kind of prove just to see. So we launched a cohort, Grid launched a cohort, got 100 applications in a 2-week period, all South LA, 19 companies, 40 founders. Our very first investment out of Slauson & Co. was in a young woman from that cohort. So super cool to be able to say like, hey, we can kind of create and source our own deals. But ever since then, we obviously had a fund to raise and to stand up, and like we're in the investment business, but we were like, we want to be about this from the jump. So we immediately established like a nonprofit arm, and we knew we didn't know what we wanted to do with Grid, but we knew we wanted to do something. So as the year kind of evolved, we thought of this, like they've only done LA stuff. So we wanted to partner with them to do their first national program, which we're calling Friends and Family. Mm-hmm. So the idea is like, we're appealing to underrepresented founders. Applications just launched last week. And the idea is, if you're any kind of business, doesn't have to be a tech business, doesn't have to be tech enabled, could be a small business, but far and wide, apply to this program. We're giving out $20,000 free, non-dilutive capital. We're not taking any equity. We're not charging any fees, but we recognize that there's a lot of financial constraints in starting a business, and a lot of the folks that we hear of their success, they have families with means, or they have friends and networks that can open some doors. And that doesn't exist for the majority of people. Yeah. So if we're able to kind of tap into our network, and like, when I think of some of our corporate LPs like PayPal or Google, or folks like Ron Conway or Jeff Wilkie, who's a former CEO of Amazon, worldwide consumers business, that are folks that want to lend their lived experience. They've aggregated all this knowledge and there's nowhere to really put it. And like these people are real about they're extremely successful, and they want to be. So when we think about it, we want that $20K, though it might not sound like a lot, is a lot to a lot of people. For sure. And it could be, we want to be their friends and family. So
and so how do you apply for that?
So if you go to offslauson.co, you can learn about the program. You can apply to the program. Applications are open through October 8th. Encourage any entrepreneur to apply. And then, there'll be a bunch of informationals, And then we got some great people like Jim Getz of Sequoia, Howard Schultz Family Foundation, Ron Conway and the Annenberg Foundation have generously donated to the cause. So
how many businesses will you guys pick this first group?
We expect will be the first cohort will start at the top of 2022, and it will consist of about 20 companies.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. And those are some big names you're dropping.
Yeah. I mean, you got to attract people to the program. Yeah. But we looked at it like we were able to attract these people to kind of be a part of what we're doing on the investment side. But the reality is we won't be able to make an impact beyond a few dozen companies that we'll be able to invest in and really lean into. So why not broaden this impact? And hopefully our goal is to be able to do 2 cohorts a year forever. So,
and awesome. It's national?
It is a national program. US. Yeah, the company has to be US based.
Okay. And offslauson.co?
Offslauson.co.
Wow. That's a great program.
Thanks. Feel good about it.
Question, I don't know if you can tell me, but we have a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff that listen to this show.
Mm-hmm.
Any one business that you guys have invested in or seen or worked with that is like super inspiring? I mean, I'm sure they all are, but
I think they all are. Well, one of the companies actually, Dee introduced me to is a young guy named Matt. I mean, Dee's been doing this for years, lending himself, giving away his time and giving his knowledge. And then, what you guys did with Caleb, with that company that you guys are helping here. But one of the entrepreneurs that he introduced me to is this kid named Maddie. He has this company called Group Shop. His story was just super inspiring. He was from where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And young African-American male, kind of got the sense that he was like, he had like that hustle mentality, but like wasn't afraid to put in the work to like really get up to speed on this industry that he didn't know a ton about beyond his lived experience as having it with his drop shipping business. So super inspiring to be able to get to know him, honored to be able to co-lead that round and work with him. But when I think about somebody like him, we've put him in front of the who's who of
insane people.
And their constant feedback has been like, I love this kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show like that, like pedigree, gets you to a certain extent, but it's like, if you have that true commitment and that lived experience and you really know what the fuck you're talking about, which is the majority of people that just don't get the shot, right?
Yeah.
They're disconnected from that ecosystem. So.
Yeah. And I think, we're going to have him on the podcast soon when he's ready to announce all, what he's working on, but he's such a prime example of so many young people that, we've met over the years that have all the tools, just didn't grow up in the right neighborhood or didn't go to the right school or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like he was very persistent with me, which he got to be in my ecosystem. And he'll share this, just knowing me and then utilizing my network to introduce him to you is going to change his life.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a powerful thing that people don't, I think so many people that I meet goes, how do you know everyone? Or I put in, 20 plus years in building a network. But if you don't, you don't have the patience for that. And you can also, while we talk about the rule of propinquity, it's because being adjacent to someone that knows somebody can change your life.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people, and this is why I actually feel so bad for work from home folks, because that is going to give other people the mere fact that you're willing to show up. I mean, look, we have 4 people here today in the office on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, because they see an opportunity, and it's so. I don't know. I think it's pretty obvious, and I think the tide's gonna change of who the next generation of successful people are. Because I actually don't think it's gonna be because of the internet, access to information, and the idea that I'm physically willing to be next to you.
Yeah.
Will change who becomes successful next. I mean, we're already seeing it happening with crypto because these kids are going out and learning it. But in just the tried and true entrepreneurship world is going to change because like a bunch of people showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still think the propinquity in the physical world is very important. So I'm not saying it's not. But I think there's also this new generation of like, maybe it's a bad example, but like the Casey Adams of the world who like the DM hustle.
Yeah.
You still have to show up in person.
Yeah,
Casey could never be like, well, Sunday I'm a little busy. Sorry. But like there is this other thing that's happening where these young people mainly are like hustling, networking online.
Yeah.
And building real
relationships.
Yeah. But your point, I'm not trying to say your point's wrong because you still have to show up in person.
Yeah.
But I do think that, look, if you are stuck at home or you are working from home or whatever, you better get really good at that.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And then when the time comes and you can be in person, then go do it. But so at least if you're sitting there listening, it's not like, oh, well, I can't win because I'm working from home. There are people making a huge amount of headway on that weird DM hustle.
Yeah. And I think the young people who do that and have the art of doing it well, because
it is
I could show you an art of a lot of people who don't do it well.
Oh, my inbox is full of them.
Yes. Yo.
You'll see who's in primary and who's in. Yeah. You see by what inbox they're in your DM.
Exactly.
I mean, it ultimately just comes down to adding value, right?
Yes.
Like it's like whether it's to a personal relationship or a friendship or a business or like a company, right? Like what do you have to contribute to society? And then in our case, what do you have to contribute to society that can scale?
Yeah,
it's also it's also like the untalked about, because it sounds so bad, or some people think it does, is like, what value are you offering me?
Yeah.
What value? I mean, like either that might just mean you're willing to work your ass off.
Yeah.
But I think that that's something that is almost this like taboo thing that people don't talk about. Dee talks about it very openly.
Yeah.
But you got it. I think that's the big differentiator between like the bad DM hustle and the good one. There's so many people that just reach out and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?"
Yeah.
Or, "Hey,
it's
can you do me a favor?"
I use the example of the H-Word group, and when they were throwing their Vegas event, they invited their friends who always support them, eat at their restaurants, support their venues, support their businesses publicly, because that's what matters.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I remember just hearing about all these people that, they were hitting them up the weekend up, like, hey, how come I didn't get invited?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you don't fucking eat here.
Yeah.
You don't support us.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like for someone like me, very easy to support someone like me. I have consumer brands that are very affordable.
Yeah.
If you show up wearing my shit, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, you support me. Yeah. Oh, you come to the Run Club? Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, or come to the group chat live.
Group chat live. Like, there's so many ways
Pay
to...
for these.
Yeah.
You're easy to support.
Yeah, very easy to
Low
support.
Low price point.
And,
local.
And by the way, not even money. I mean, just saying, like, there's such simple things you can do that you could publicly support someone. And that gives people the comfort to actually help. Yeah. I mean... people miss the bar on that so much, especially young people. Come on, easy is to post something on social media and say, "Yo, man, check out group chat. Fucking love these guys."
Yeah.
That means something to me.
Yeah.
That like you support us. But like most people will just keep being aggressive and keep asking, and it's straight up become like, "What have you done for me?"
Yeah,
like,
and that sounds like it's like almost like you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, and I'm okay with saying it because I've paid my dues 5,000 times over. Yeah. But like it's because now it's also like about scaling my help. Yeah. Right. And I want to be more efficient with it. So instead of just meeting with every single person that wants to meet, like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's crazy how many people want a meeting with me, but have never supported anything we've ever done. Yeah. So it's like, dude, you're missing the mark.
I get it. Yeah, that's good. Well, there's some advice for the listener.
Yeah. I mean, and it goes for anything. So many people want to go work at this company, work at, this place, but they've never supported the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, true. I know people that want their whole life, they wanted to work at Nike, and that's all they wore. All they talked about, all they posted. And guess what? 10 years later, they worked at fucking Nike.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you got to do that for everything in your life. You got to show like real passion and support for something.
Yeah. Very true. Okay. Anything else that we're missing, AJ?
No. I think that's it.
Well, congratulations, man. I mean, I will say, not only are you just doing incredible shit, but I think like we've talked about this a lot. Like, I don't blame anyone, but a lot of people like the last year. So let's say we take out of the bucket the people who just couldn't help it. The pandemic and all that stuff just really hurt you. No way to help it. Maybe you're in the hospitality or whatever. I think there's a lot of people that mentally got so down the last year and a half, 2 years, that they let it beat them and they sort of went backwards. And now people are trying to climb out of that and trying to whatever. You are a good example of someone that like really, like, I mean, you grew exponentially. The stuff you're working on, the businesses, all of it grew significantly in the last year and a half, 2 years. Mm-hmm. And congrats. I mean, it's so cool to like, once again, we don't see each other much because of all this stuff. But then when you do meet up or when you do follow online or whatever, like you're constantly making these big moves. And I think it's just a good example of like, you just gotta hustle no matter what.
Yep.
Good, bad, good news, bad news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You really made the most of it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I think, when you look back on the last 18 months, it was tough, but a lot of silver linings, And like that's just like pandemic or not, it's just kind of focusing on that positive stuff and being grateful for it all. So really happy to be able to be in a position to be able to do this type of work.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Big things.
So where do people, I know you gave that one email, just give one quick rundown, clean rundown. Where do people go to find you and find more about what you're doing?
Sure. So if you're, company tech-enabled company in the SMB tech or the culturally relevant consumer tech world, and you're looking for investment, you can go to slauson.co. If you're interested in the friends and family accelerator, check out offslauson.co. And Slauson is spelled SLAUSON.
What if they want to invest in the fund?
It's too late.
What about next round? How do they stay up to date?
They can email meet us at slauson.co and we can start talking about fund 2.
There you go. We have a lot of rich listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for some news?
Yeah, I got some interesting news.
Just now?
Well, one, I'll jump to it first because you were just excited to talk about it. Apparently there was like a murder situation that was, so the body has been found. I just got notified.
She's dead?
Gabby Petito body has been found in Wyoming. What happened? This is a crazy
I'm going to
story.
tell it very poorly, but because I just tried to like binge it last night in preparation for today's episode. But essentially the best I can gather is there's like this like true crime episode playing out live on TikTok. And so it's literally like the same type of story that you would see in one of these true crime things or on one of those podcasts or whatever. And except for it's playing out as we speak. And I guess now the news just broke, the girl's body has been found. But essentially this guy and girl, I believe they were engaged, went on a cross-country trip. The craziest thing about it is she was a vlogger. So it literally looks like a movie. Like she's vlogging the trip. There's like these like vlogs of like, here we are in our van, like we just got to blah, blah, blah. And they vlogged the whole trip across the country. And so they're from Tampa and they were going, I believe, to like Oregon or something. And they stopped in Wyoming and something happened. At one point, they got pulled over by the cops for fighting in public.
Oh boy.
And they released the full body camera footage. And what's crazy is, from what the cops found, she was the aggressor. He was scratched up. They were like, look, we're going to have to give her a citation. We're going to have to charge her with domestic violence. So the cops end up kind of being nice because they don't want to charge this 22-year-old girl with domestic violence. And they end up saying, look, there's kind of an out here. We're going to let you out, but we do have to separate you two for the night. So we're going to take him to a hotel that's literally like a domestic violence charity that will set up hotels for you. Take him to a hotel. She takes the van. They spend the night apart from each other.
Wow.
So I don't know the exact timeline, but shortly thereafter, something happens. The guy drives all the way back to Florida without her in the van. Doesn't call the cops, doesn't nothing. Gets to Florida and they're like, yo, where's your girlfriend? Where's your fiance? Where the family's like, where's our daughter? So eventually, finally the family files a missing persons report. This guy goes completely silent. His family goes silent. They're not talking. There's no information from him about where she might be. She's just missing. Then, fucking like on Friday, they announce, hey, the family announces Brian, the suspect, he's missing. He said he went for a hike on Tuesday. Hasn't come back.
The boyfriend.
They didn't report it. They said, oh, he's been gone since Tuesday. They tell him on Friday. So now he's missing. So now both people are missing. There's no information. Nobody knows anything. And TikTok is literally piecing together like all the clues. And then there's a woman that comes out on TikTok that says, I picked up the boyfriend and gave him a ride. He was hitchhiking and we drove him for like 3 miles or something. And he sort of started to panic and said, I need to get out. And we let him out of the car. but we didn't know who he was or didn't know anything. But once I saw all the pictures, I recognized him. So then the cops reached out to that woman. Apparently her story seemed to check out because they were taking it serious. And it was this whole thing of like, where is she? What happened? All this stuff. And TikTok was literally like, TikTok found a picture of tourists taking a selfie in Wyoming. And in the background, you can kind of see what looks like the girl like sleeping on the rocks, like is way in the background. And like TikTok is like literally like, this is what happened. Here's my theory. Some people were saying that she ran off and was, tormenting him, and he ran, for his own safety and ran back to Florida. And like, there was all these different theories and whatever, but apparently her body's been found.
Well, they said a body has been found in the Grand Tetons.
Okay.
In Wyoming.
In Wyoming. So they haven't identified if it was a male or female.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't imagine. It would be pretty scary if there's other bodies being found.
So here's the kicker that's going to make this. I didn't even bring it up because you're going to be like, what the fuck? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Is 2 women, I believe, were also murdered at the same time frame, and their bodies were found, and in the same exact, literally the same like address as where they got pulled over for the domestic violence is where these 2 girls worked.
Oh my God.
So there's so many different layers to this thing, but apparently no matter if they had any involvement or not, there were 2 women that were murdered in the same. So I don't know, maybe there's bodies around there. I don't know, but you would have to believe it is probably her.
National parks kind of freak me out.
Yep.
I used to be a big national park guy.
They're too secluded. People are camping.
Yeah.
It's a good place for like creepy.
Yeah.
People are out hiking alone. They're alone.
So where's the boyfriend?
So last I checked, the boyfriend was still gone. They were searching for him in Florida.
Oh my God.
Not a good look if
So
you didn't
who
do
knows now? Exactly. That's the crazy part, right? Is if you didn't do it, like, wouldn't you just be like, yo, we got in a fight. She ran off.
Yeah.
I lost her.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I don't know. I'm sorry for sort of that was what I pieced together from my TikTok. Was that accurate?
You're a TikTok expert at this
Okay.
point.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
great.
Was there anything I missed?
The only thing I would add is that apparently they went over to Brian's family's home
Yeah.
to ask for information. And the family just said, you can speak to our lawyer.
Yeah.
They decided to give
It's
some
iced
information. Yeah, just very...
Wow.
You
So there you go. But this is what I'll say. Not to sound, whatever the word is, cold or whatever. But the fact that in today's day and age, now you're watching like Making a Murderer or blah, blah, blah. Like you're watching it live on TikTok. And the way that TikTok, once again, whether it's algorithms or whatever, you watch one and it serves you. Now you're in the mystery.
Yeah.
Now every swipe is like a new person with a new fact or like they get you instantly. And now you're literally watching one of these murder mysteries live unfold on TikTok. It's insane.
Like it's replacing investigative journalism.
Well, it's replacing just television, like a more
News.
Interactive television, right?
Definitely news.
And so that could explain TikTok has now overtaken YouTube in average monthly watch time.
Overtaking YouTube?
Yeah, the average TikTok user now spends 24 hours per month, approximately 50 minutes per day, compared to 22 hours a month for YouTube. In the UK, the average TikTok user is 25 hours a month, whereas YouTube is only 16 hours. So, I mean, here's the thing. This is average. If you took when you say like Nielsen ratings and they tell you 18 to 49 and they tell 18 to 30, like the core demographic, I bet you it's banana. It's double.
10 hours a day.
Yeah, it's 10 hours a day.
I bet you it's insane.
Yeah. And so it just tells you like, this is where all the action is as far as social media is concerned.
I think literally every ounce of action is there. Like if you're a brand, if you're a celebrity, if you're at anything, I think it's all TikTok.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I go on last night, whatever, we're just sitting at home. So just passively watching television. So I go on Instagram. I'm on Instagram stories, really just looking at, I'm just like,
Doesn't hit.
There's nothing
no murder mystery here.
Yeah, no murder mystery here.
It's just your friends eating dinner again.
Yeah, it's just, it literally was like, it's like 10 different friends at 10 different restaurants.
Yeah.
showing me, and which I think food pics are disgusting to begin with.
Got it.
Like most people's food looks like vomit.
Yeah.
And they think it looks good.
Yeah.
And so I have to look at 10 different pictures of vomit.
Yeah.
With different outside settings.
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
it's also like what other platform, what other social media platform do you just take content from people you don't follow, but it's so good you can't help but watch it?
Well, I think that was my point, is that TikTok encourages to put out your best content.
Yeah.
Whereas in Instagram, in the heyday of Instagram, they just rewarded the same people, the same content, and it didn't encourage like the no name to come out of nowhere and create a better version of that content, because you didn't get rewarded. If you were a no name creator on Instagram, how did you actually, the hacks were, go comment on a bunch of famous people's pictures, go DM a bunch of people, go play the follow and like game, go all these little weird games.
Yeah.
But what they never rewarded was just make great fucking content, and we will find your audience for you. And TikTok does that, right? Like TikTok, if you want to hop into the murder mystery gang and you did your homework and you give a piece of information that someone else might not be thinking about, it's in TikTok's best interest to serve that video, because they want more people to stay on the platform.
Yeah.
And even when you go on Instagram, I'll like stumble onto someone's Instagram page, like especially in fashion. I'm like, this fucking brand's amazing.
Yep.
And they have 1,200 followers.
Yep.
I'm like, how do these guys have more followers?
Yep.
And the engagement's terrible. It's like, because you don't get rewarded for good content.
Instagram's turning into just like your web page.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's literally just young Facebook.
Yeah.
Like I think Dorky Zucks doesn't know, he's too like computer thinking. Like he doesn't understand the concept of fun.
One and zeros.
Yes. And literally, I think he literally just made Facebook whack and like this old people thing. And I think they're making Instagram like the young people version of Facebook.
Yeah.
TikTok that algorithm is insane. I mean, the fact that like, think about like anywhere else on the internet where you find something that you're into and then you still kind of have to Google it or whatever. You don't
have to leave.
When you go on Instagram, you know what you're going to see, kind of. Like, you're not going to get introduced to the Gabby Petito story on Instagram.
No. I'm going to get introduced to vomit pics.
Vomit pics. That's it. And little do you know, there's a girl missing in Wyoming.
There's vomit in New York, vomit in Miami, vomit in San Francisco, vomit in Milan, vomit in London.
Yeah.
That's my night. I watch 10 vomit pics.
And then let's just say you come across one video on Complex, I'm trying to think of who you'd follow that says, what you missed this week, Gabby Petito missing in Wyoming, right? Doesn't matter how long you look at that page, how much of the caption you read. When you scroll to the next thing, Instagram doesn't use that.
No.
They don't serve you more of that. Just say, hey, I saw you were interested in this.
Yeah.
TikTok, you get 2 weeks worth.
Yeah.
I'm still learning about vaccine conspiracies because of one video I watched. A little too long. They won't let me go, man.
Yeah.
Every night I get a little more paranoid about the shot I got. But it's I think the power of it, and I think that like
the usage is proving it. Like, by the way, in this report that App Annie released, there's no discussion of Facebook or Instagram. It's just TikTok versus YouTube. It's not even in contention anymore.
Yeah, that's wild. And think about how early it is, TikTok.
TikTok is not even a good ad platform yet. Like, it's terrible as an ad platform. If they actually figure that out.
Plus, they have just endless money to figure it out.
Yes. Well, to be fair, so does Facebook. They just don't feel like they want to put that effort in.
Yeah. I'm not saying compared to Facebook. I'm saying like, as far as like when it comes to someone to challenge Facebook, you have to have so much money. Yeah. And they have it. Yeah. Like a rare, significant amount. Yeah. I think, look, I love TikTok. I think they're
launching a music streaming service in China. Okay. I'm telling you, if they apply, like Spotify's algorithm is actually pretty fucking good in suggesting music.
Yeah.
It's actually really good.
I gotta do it.
But imagine if like, oh, you like Little Baby? Let me show you 14 other littles that you might like.
Oh, I know. Welcome to the littles. Next, we're going to the bigs.
You like Big Papa? Let me give you 5 other overweight rappers you might like.
I mean, they own, literally on the way over here, I was listening to Apple Music, like new records or whatever, and Ed Sheeran came on. And I was thinking, like, Ed Sheeran's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like crickety. And the same way, that's how I feel. This is crazy to say, but I feel that about Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish was the biggest artist
It's all Olivia Rodrigo now.
Right? And so, but what I was thinking is they're not on TikTok. No one's dancing to their songs on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like you got to get a song for TikTok.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's the only thing, but if you look at the charts, it's literally always like Drake, Kendrick, the biggest artists, but then those are all TikTok records.
Yes.
Every other song on the charts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get served anything intellectual on TikTok because I watch nonsense.
Yeah.
But so I watched, probably not joking, 40 videos yesterday of the guy who started that Kid Leroy thing where he had the drone shot.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
He whatever, and then he was dancing on the top of the mountain. He's like an old dude. Okay. And so I watched, it has 70 million views. 70 million. Okay. So I watched one of those, and then he goes and dances with other famous people, or just everyone recreating it with the drone shot and like dancing. So I watched 40 videos of that same concept of this guy dancing in the middle of the field. And there's people in India doing it, and people in Indonesia doing it, people in America doing it. And it's fun, it's entertaining, and everyone does their own little twist on it. But like, it's insane. I watched literally 40 videos probably.
I love TikTok so much. We got to ban it. We have to ban it now. Like we're fucked if we don't ban this thing, man.
It's the same feeling I had when I saw Robinhood, and I was like, this is the greatest digital fintech product I've ever seen in my life. And look what happened. And then TikTok is very obvious. The same thing.
Ban it.
I just wanted to say, like, for the Billie Eilish and Ed Sheeran thing, like, obviously I know they're not doing the streaming numbers, but like even for Ed Sheeran, there's a trend going around, and it was like one of his songs. I think it was Shape of You. And then like the transition would be like any person that you were with in the room that was a ginger. It's like, oh, I'm with Ed Sheeran.
Oh my God.
And it had like racked up like millions and millions of videos under the sound. And even Billie Eilish, she doesn't really post that much, but she does like what you would expect to see on her like private story with her friends. And videos have like 336 million views, 116 million views, 90 million views. Just like, because you got a glimpse into her like.
Totally. But I think it's this weird thing where like, so the way that I look at that is like, so Billie Eilish is undeniably a massive celebrity and will be for like, she could not do music for the next decade and she'd still be a massive celebrity, but her songs aren't hitting off the new album. And so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you have 300 million views, but you have no streams. And so who cares? When same with Ed Sheeran, it's like, it's still your old music. Like you need that new music to start hitting because all those songs that hit, I mean, Kid Leroy is the only thing interrupting Drake's reign on the top charts. And it's Kid Leroy. He is a product of TikTok. And of course he got to that level where, now Justin Bieber is involved. But the point is, Kid Leroy is literally, he came from TikTok.
I think maybe artists in the future will have to keep TikTok in mind whenever they're creating their new records.
Like if I was a songwriter or whatever, and they probably are, but I would just like, I bet Benny Blanco and J Cash and all them are just understanding the formula of what makes a TikTok record.
Yeah, is it what song that I always hear on TikTok is, I think it's like a Ty Dolla $ign song. God, or whatever. But it feels like a few artists have figured it out, like especially rap artists. Like I always see their names on.
I think Meg Thee Stallion figured it out. You know? Doja Cat.
Yeah, Doja Cat always.
TikTok.
Yeah. And I think most people should be thinking through the lens of TikTok. Like when you're a social media manager at any brand, we deal with so many people, they're talking about Instagram. I'm like, what are you talking about Instagram for?
What are you talking about?
It's
MySpace, bro.
You should be thinking through the lens of TikTok because that's where the consumer is. Because if you actually want to convert to a sale, sure, you can have a great Instagram and it looks beautiful, but like this era of like a bunch of people taking beautiful pictures and editing them for Instagram is dead.
Plus, here's the other thing: is most of the good content that you see now on Instagram is TikTok videos. If you think about it. If you follow like House of Highlights or any of those pages, Complex, any of them, they're all TikToks. So So if you focus on TikTok, you will also get content for your Instagram. But if you're solely focusing on Instagram, you don't get any for anything else.
And in the sense of like beauty brands, which I think they're always the best in social media, like I'll go look at beauty brands' TikTok pages. They're so raw and they're so like helpful.
Yeah.
And traditionally, those people's Instagram pages would look beautiful.
Yeah.
And it would have this like perfect looking person with the perfect skin.
Yeah.
But now it's like just raw. It's like, this is my skin routine at 10:30 at night after a long day of drinking.
Yeah.
Like that's what the customer wants to see. They know everything else is bullshit.
Yeah, it's true. We got to ban it.
Yeah.
We got to ban it.
I mean, I can't believe Mark Zuckerberg's not working on that.
He's got to be behind the scenes. He's got to be.
Yeah.
Imagine all the shit
on Oculus.
Yeah,
trying to get you virtual office avatars.
Yeah, he's like, I'll get you.
Yeah, and I think that stuff will work, but there's something about being culturally relevant that matters. The same thing in music, same thing in technology. But we're in this era. If you're not culturally relevant, you're forgotten very, very quickly.
And of course it matters. It literally elected Donald Trump. One of the craziest things to happen in American history was, I think everyone agrees, massively because of social media.
Yeah.
It matters more than anyone realizes. But imagine if Facebook and all the Cambridge Analytica and all that stuff was fucking controlled by China.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's already like conspiracy theories of like the reason the algorithm boosts slutty girls and weed and blah, 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 is because it's China corrupting, which is like, number one, no. We've been doing that shit for a long time.
Yeah, we've been wanting to see that for a long time.
That shit's been cool for way before China got in the picture. Yeah. But the point is that they could do that.
Yeah.
They could subtly start to nudge the same way Facebook did.
Yeah. And I've seen that conversation when it comes to Black creators.
Yeah.
That clearly, and there was an article, I think maybe in the Wall Street Journal, that Black creators are moving on because they just can't crack TikTok.
Yeah.
And because it is under a different regime, like they'll just say, no, we don't want that.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do about it. So those creators are going to go to different platforms and hopefully build their following somewhere else. But that's a pretty wild thing, like just like based on race, not letting.
Because think about it. Number one, you'll never find out ever if that was true or not. You'll never get like a leak. Mm-hmm. Over here, we get leaks. We get like, oh, did you know that? No. That
Except
big leak.
Yeah,
apparently a couple things leaked. Like, you know how recently, like Facebook, that thing leaked where they were investigating the mental health effects of Instagram on
teenage girls. Yeah,
you're never going to get that leak from
Or even
China.
what happened the other story about Neymar, how Facebook has a VIP user account, and those accounts are treated differently than everyone else's. So, like Neymar had broken a bunch of policies of Facebook, and he was never punished for it. So all users are not created equal, and that leaked.
Yeah, see.
But that's not going to leak. And we know TikTok is doing this.
Yeah, we know.
Clearly based on who are the TikTok stars. They just so happen to all look the same.
Yeah.
Literally, guys. Literally, you can line all 30 of them up right here.
Yeah,
and say, okay, Josh, Bryce, Jacob,
Chad, whatever, man. They all would, you'd get all of them.
Yes.
But the other thing is, at least you can put the pressure on like Facebook and force, Zuckerberg did
the employees will revolt.
Will revolt. Or, Zuckerberg, they just did the like, whatever that we talked about, the paying off debts.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like China's never answering to anything. It doesn't matter. Yeah. We got to ban it. Yeah. I've changed my mind. Let's go ahead and start the process.
And especially, you probably spend a solid hour a day on it.
That's why I want to get rid of it.
You have no self-control.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about fashion. Did you see that Nigo? So I don't know. Maybe all of our listeners aren't familiar, but Nigo was the creator and face and whatever behind Bape.
Yeah.
Bathing Ape. And he was like this huge, larger-than-life character, like I'd say 15 years ago.
Yeah.
With like Ferraris and Bugattis and Pharrell and crazy chains and all that stuff. Things, I think, went a little south financially over time. But now, Nigo is back as the new designer for Kenzo.
Yeah, he was over at Uniqlo from last I remember. And, he's obviously behind Bape and Billionaire Boys Club. And he's always been a collaborator with Pharrell. And I think another great move by LVMH. They go get a creative director. He's 50. He's not like a young dude.
Yeah.
But he's so relevant to young people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Street luxury fashion for men specifically is basically streetwear.
Yeah. Agreed. It is.
That's what it is. And so this era of streetwear brands that, we all grew up watching, the kind of leaders of that space have now become the heads of all of these businesses. So streetwear is effectively taken over luxury. I mean, you just go into any luxury store and you look at like the presence of sneakers.
Yeah.
These brands 20 years ago had maybe one sneaker.
Yeah.
Now it's like a sneaker wall. It's like 30 styles of low top, high top. Everything looks like Jordans.
Yeah.
It's influenced by Nike, and it's just $1,000 version of that exact shoe.
Yeah.
So Nigo goes over to now Kenzo and becomes a creative director of that brand. And that brand's very colorful and bright and very much like his style.
Yeah.
And then I saw on Hypebeast Instagram that Supreme looks like to be collaborating with Tiffany.
Really?
It's like they have a formula. Go get said cool streetwear designer.
Yeah.
Go get Supreme. Go get X. There's like a checklist at this at LVMH where they're just like, they know within 3 months we can make this brand relevant.
Yeah.
And keep it going. It's quite insane.
Because how long ago did they buy that, Tiffany?
It's less than a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they know the formula.
Yeah. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Supreme. Boom. Tiffany's hot.
I wonder if it's the son. Is the son the one that understands all the cool shit?
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
You think old Bernie knows?
I think Bernie knows that
he knows what's up. Yeah. I wonder what Bernie's listening to.
I bet you they're walking their stores. They see it.
Yeah.
Shit changed. Like, I mean, everywhere I go, I see a young person wearing Dior. Dior is so fucking expensive.
Everyone's so rich.
So expensive.
I don't get it.
Like, nothing at Dior is cheap. And anywhere I'm with the young people, they're wearing like a casual $500 Dior t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think like streetwear is clearly infiltrated.
It's pretty crazy. I didn't really think about it that way, but it really is that. Like streetwear is luxury. It's the same thing now.
It's the same thing. I mean, look, Justin Bieber just rolled out his campaign with Balenciaga. Mm-hmm. It looks like a Young and Reckless shoot from fucking 10 years ago. Like some cool young white kid tatted up with like...
It's the formula. Yeah. I had the formula 10 years ago.
We can see whether it was you, Machine Gun Kelly, Post Malone. We did it. We did the same formula. Yeah. It works.
Oh my God.
Now the only difference is the t-shirt went from $25 to $2,000.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Well, props to LVMH, man. They just get it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I mean, they just...
Well, it goes back to the same thing that TikTok has done a really good job of, which is staying young and culturally relevant. Yeah. You have to stay young. If your business gets old, and that's where I think the challenge with Facebook is like they let Facebook, forget Instagram, because I don't know what their average age, where their core demo is.
Yeah.
They let Facebook get old and say, okay, this is for old people now.
Yeah.
You can never be for old people.
No, you can't.
You just can't.
You literally can't.
Because as soon as you become that, you're irrelevant. And then, because
even the old people don't want to act like old people.
No.
Old people want to do what the young kids are doing. I'm seeing more and more old people on TikTok.
Yeah, of course.
It's more and
That's
more
where
parents.
The action is.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's also, like, if you're old, what are you trying to do? Stay fucking young.
Yeah.
No one old is like, oh, yeah, it's great. I can't wait to...
Can't wait to be old.
Yeah, go to the library.
Yeah. You know where no one's excited to go? The old folks' home. Like, all right, it's my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Send me on over. Been waiting for 3 decades for this. Come on, man. Yeah. You only go there if you're trying to join QAnon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay. We got a list.
Yes.
Love these lists. So we got a list of the items that were most purchased on Amazon this year. Toilet paper.
So shopping behaviors have changed. And 2020 was very much about, what are you going to do in your home to just occupy your time?
Oh, yeah.
And so now we're seeing things like event and party supply sales.
Yep.
So Hallmark black gift box. It's just an empty box. Well, top items.
Like you put presents in it?
Yep.
Okay.
The top item on wedding registries that so gift giving and wedding registries.
Yep.
Instapot.
Oh my gosh. It's so like
let me tell you something. When registries are interesting because like you literally put stuff that you need, like you actually going to use, which is very helpful. Try to not get the pot. Get something else.
Why?
I don't know.
I just want to understand. Is it too easy? Too basic?
Yeah. I mean, I've gifted people plates and shit, which seems very basic too.
Which is an Instapot?
I don't know, man.
I have a feeling Instapot. Are they confirming Instapot is on registries or Instapot?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think it's just like it's a go-to. It's like how everyone in the world, like, is there an air fryer on there by any chance? Because everyone I talk to is like, you gotta get an air fryer. I love my air fryer. Literally, I saw 3 of you guys all shake your heads. Like,
okay, fuck, yeah. But see, you know what? Air fryer's like new and cool. It's the TikTok of home appliances. Get the air fryer.
But that's like the coast.
Instapot is like Facebook. It's old.
Exactly, but I think the coasts are air fryers. That's in our bubble. Middle, Instapot.
Man, air fryer's hot.
I bet if you had a map of like where purchases are, it'd be literally coastal cities air fryer.
Yeah, I mean, air fryer's just it literally has changed my.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
So the hype is real.
Yeah.
The biggest hype that you'll like as someone who Postmates a lot.
Yep.
French fries always come soggy. You put them in for 3-4 minutes in that air fryer, you got crispy fucking fries.
No way.
Yes, it's fucking believable. Pizza, boom. Grilled cheese, boom. Vegetables, boom.
Orange chicken from Trader Joe's, boom.
And what do? You just pop it in there and like
press a button.
And
they literally have pictures of what you're cooking, like fries, pizza, vegetables.
Like
it's that easy. Like you don't even need to know how to read. Because it's just, you do know that the shape of a pizza looks like this. It doesn't say pizza. They're catering to the lowest common denominator. They assume that their user cannot read.
Yeah, you're right. The air fryer should be on there instead of Instapot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then they have Aquaphor, which, we use it for our kids.
It's a top item.
Diaper
People
rashes.
are dry.
Yeah, people are dry.
Yeah.
For athleisure, Carhartt men's mid-weight sleeve logo hooded sweatshirt.
Weird.
Onesie women high-rise bike shorts. Expandable luggage with spinner wheels. I get that. People are traveling. High-waisted bathing suit, kids' car seats and strollers. Lifetime camping and utility folding table. I get it. People are out.
A lot of camping. Camping.
Yep. Like grills. I mean, it's dry mouth lozenges. A lot of people with dry mouth.
Why are so many people dry?
Yeah.
Like, drink some water. Is there any water on
that is actually the problem. Most of America is dehydrated.
They are.
The top thing should be water.
Literally.
Or liquid IV.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I guess that's why liquid IV, yeah. They didn't see You know what, Dee? This is a perfect point to stop.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe
America is dehydrated.
America's dehydrated and they're just covering themselves in Aquaphor instead of getting more hydrated. I mean, holy cow. So I do think, even though we joke about it, it's a good time to check out Liquid IV.
I don't think people realize that they're dehydrated because, I'm guessing when you go and urinate after this episode, what does your pee look like? Is it clear or is it bright yellow?
Yeah, you want to know what else is funny is I've also just drank only water. I've still had clear pee and still been dehydrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the amount of water that you have to drink to really be hydrated, especially if you do any working out, drink any coffee, alcohol, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't blame these people, but don't cover yourself in Aquaphor. Okay?
I mean, we're looking at the top things on Amazon and it's clearly all around drinking outside.
Yep.
The whole premise of America right now is to go outside and drink.
You're right.
What happens when you do that? You're in the sun.
Yep.
Alcohol is very dehydrating.
Yep.
Being in the sun is dehydrating.
Yeah.
So we put in some lipstick on a pig with some
literally. Listen, get to the root of the problem and pour some freaking liquid IV in your water.
I literally after every run I take a liquid IV because if you're dehydrated, your day is ruined. People are always tired and they're always
You might not even know why.
Yeah.
You might just be sleepy and oiled up in your Aquaphor, and you're like, what's going on with me? Why am I so tired?
So head over to liquidiv.com. Get all the minerals, nutrients you need to stay hydrated.
Yep.
And use the code group chat, and you get
25% off anything.
Wow. Anything.
Why don't you save some money on Aquaphor?
Literally.
Yeah.
Aquaphor is not cheap.
Aquaphor is not cheap at all.
It's a quality product. Get to the root.
We can remove your Aquaphor from your line item.
Yep.
Get some Liquid IV in you, and you'll feel better.
There you go. And you get 25% off. What a deal.
Yeah. You can also buy it in bulk nationwide at Costco. So work it into your routine. Buy it in bulk.
There you go. Instead of buying tubs of Aquaphor, buy a tub of Liquid IV. Sheesh. Okay. All right. Let's get back into it. The market is way bigger than we thought.
And then this other thing is in the top bestsellers in the outdoor furniture section is really funny. It's a bar table with 7.5 gallon beer and wine cooler. Number one item.
People are just rubbing Aquaphor all over themselves.
Here's the problem.
That's probably why they're dehydrated.
They're getting hammered.
Making
outside,
their Instapot dinner.
They have their camping table outside.
Yeah.
And they have the table. And then they have a Blackstone 4-burner flat top gas grill. They're literally outside getting hammered, and they're so dehydrated that they have to get Aquaphor.
Babe, what's going on with me? Yeah, that's it. We just literally you can tell the whole story of what the country's doing by the top items on Amazon.
It's so funny.
Okay, well, drink some fucking water, guys. Jeez.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Okay, we've come to the final story, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. Now, I want to maybe go like a little easy here because I think it's really important that Anand's here.
Yeah.
So whatever is bubbling up in you, just save it.
Anand's gotta be here.
I do want to point out that Tim came in with diamond earrings.
Diamond earrings.
What are they made of?
Real diamond. I don't know. Something.
How much you paid for them?
I didn't pay for them.
Who gave it to you?
My friend.
Why diamond? Why are you trying to at least look?
Appear that they're diamonds.
Appear to be better than
others. My friend only had
diamond
one
earrings.
type of earring, and they're definitely not.
It's just a form of expression.
Sure, and so is a Bugatti.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Tim,
fake Bugatti.
Tim, you were gone for the last week and a half?
Yeah.
Went home?
Yeah. Went home.
Okay, so Tim's back. He has diamond earrings. I just want to mention that for the listener who can't see him. Okay, but here's the topic. Once again, we'll wait to go all in. So AOC. Okay. I think we talked about it on the pod, but there was like a full group chat, text message showdown between Tim and Anand. I think at one point they called each other young man and old man. Mm-hmm. Got a little snippy. Mm-hmm. But AOC's dress and her appearance at the Met Gala has been all the talk. People are still talking about it. Mm-hmm. But the news story. So here's the news story.
Talk about kicking a dead horse. This is literally...
They're kicking this thing. I think they're going to kick this horse for a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nonstop on every platform. So the news story in the New York Post is that the designer, Aurora James, who made AOC's Tax the Rich dress, owes a debt in multiple states. Owes a tax debt?
Yeah, so in New York State, to withhold income taxes from employees, paychecks totaling $14,000 some odd dollars, which were incurred before the pandemic. Internal Revenue Service placed 6 federal liens on her agency. And then former employees also are coming out saying, I experienced a lot of harassment when I worked for her. Aurora would ask me to do things that were not in anyone's job description, which that is a ridiculous fucking comment. The work environment was so hostile that I was afraid to ask for my check. I don't really care about the employee shit, because those are ridiculous comments.
Yeah, none of it really is that. No.
Yeah, but it's just more of, and I don't even really care that this lady owes taxes. I don't think it's relevant. But the problem is, it's related to AOC, and here's the problem when you wear that dress.
Yeah.
Is you unnecessarily open up Pandora's box for everyone to dig and find anything possible.
But what the fuck is Aurora doing? I think that the story here, the through line of the story is hypocrisy.
Yes.
And fucking Aurora What are you doing?
Why would you take that risk?
Turn down the request.
Yes.
Say, look, Alexandria, there's a couple things.
Yes.
Exactly. I got to skip this one.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, because, I mean, I think maybe she thought this was her way out, maybe.
Maybe she'll get a little special shredding of some documents.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, I get it. And even if you wanted to say we're all for it and the dress was great and the whole thing was great, Aurora should have passed.
Yeah, Aurora, this is the problem with like getting attention.
Yeah.
It's why certain people never want any attention.
Yeah.
Everyone has skeletons. I don't care who you are. Everyone has skeletons. And as soon as the spotlight is on you, and if you're a polarizing figure like AOC is, what do? The opposing side is just going to dig up dirt till they fucking find it.
But you're telling me you wrote the word tax on a dress.
Yeah.
And you literally have liens. Like that's just too exact.
Yeah.
It's not like, yo, she's an asshole to her employees.
If she said, don't pay taxes, very on brand.
Aurora's in.
Yeah. If she had a whole
she
dress.
She should have snuck a don't above tax the rich. Yeah. Okay. Tim, anything? Because I noticed a little exhales, but this isn't very controversial for the team, right? For team.
I just think it's funny. I think it's really.
But do you care about Aurora, or you're not?
I think it's really adorable. It's
which part?
The not paying IRS
now the
taxes.
fact that this is the third consecutive podcast that you're talking about a dress from a representative of a district on the other side of the country.
I'd probably plan for 3 or 4 more.
Yeah,
it's so
they're gonna keep digging more dirt.
But isn't that the goal, Tim?
I think it's a perfect example of what she wanted to do, and I think
that's why Donald Trump is the best. He's the greatest at this at all time.
Yeah. I think you should reword that. But he's the best at this.
The best at this. Because if this is all that matters, then he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, yeah. Yeah.
Because he'll always be at the top of the headline.
But that's why the complaint is that she's a leftist Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what they want her to be. You need a leftist Donald Trump to go against Donald Trump in most people's eyes, right?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I just have a feeling that like the 2028 presidential election is going to look like Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Like, gotcha hat and like running and again. Like, it's going to be like, I don't know, I like that one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, like we saw what the recall effort looks like in California, and we saw that like most people, if you don't give them the right choice, they're going to vote very simply. I don't know, in 2028, this is like the TikTok generation's first big election. Yeah. Right? Like, so they're going to...
But they're going to care even more about just like this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about policy. Foreign policy? Are you kidding? Do we get to keep our TikTok or not? What's your foreign policy on that? Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. I also think it's going to get to the point, we already talked about it now, but like no person in their right mind is going to want to be a politician.
No.
Like it's just going to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah. I mean, this is a prime example of why you would not want to be. It's ridiculous.
Because I think even if you go team AOC and you say, not rabid, but you're just like, I get it. But she had to do that because she has to play the game and blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck wants to play that game?
Yeah.
Like who wants to like show up to the Met Gala with your statement, get roasted for 3 consecutive podcasts.
Yeah. On the number 1 podcast in the world.
Like, think about if you're a serious, intelligent person that wants to change the world.
Yeah.
Starting with the state of New York.
Yeah. It'd take just immense bravery. Yeah.
No, but
well said.
Tim.
Well said,
Tim.
Yeah. Well, because
I was trying to be cool here, and he just made me hate her even more.
Yeah. Listen. No, I'll save this for Anand. Never mind.
Yeah, save it.
I gotta save it for Anand.
Yeah, I don't hate her, so don't come
the counter will be for the very intelligent, brilliant people who are changing the world. Politics will not be their lane. They'll do it in the private space. And it'll do stuff what Elon Musk is doing or Jeff Bezos is doing. And all these things that they're doing privately, they're having their impact that they want on society.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with it, but they are making an impact.
Love it. Okay, well, there you go. Can't wait till Anand comes. I'll bring the boxing gloves. That's it. Do we got any shout outs?
We do have a shout out from Nairobi Gomez. She says, I'm requesting my own birthday shout out.
Are you sure that's how you say it?
Nairobi? Nairobi. Yeah, Gomez, the last name like
I
that.
just think that was a risky attempt at an accent.
Yeah.
Nairobi. Nairobi.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just saying, hey. If you get lit up, I
hope she appreciates it. Okay. If she doesn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't be coming heavy with the accent if you don't know what.
Yeah, that was really.
What she said.
That's some white
Nairobi.
I don't know about that one.
What if she's like, yo, my name's Nairobi?
Well, she's requesting her own birthday shout out for her 24th birthday on Saturday, 9/18.
Nice.
So that was yesterday.
Happy birthday.
She says, I've been a Kathy since fall 2019 when I saw you guys randomly on my Instagram Explore page. I think Anand was talking about how gross influencer houses are and hearing stories from a friend who managed an influencer house. Thank you guys for keeping the news digestible. I've learned so much about stock, Bitcoin, business, etc. that I never knew about before. I love the show and I follow you guys on literally every single platform.
Awesome.
You know what I respect is people who take the initiative and just say, fuck it, I want to wish myself a happy birthday.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? Fuck my friends. I'm out for me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nairobi.
I didn't say it like that.
Anything else?
That's the only shout out for me.
D?
That's it. That's all I
Okay,
got.
there we go. Happy.
Oh, actually, I wanted to shout out our all the group chat merch we're putting up on melroseplaceco.com. Mm-hmm. We're doing some fun stuff. We got we did a Drake lyric.
Yep.
But our own little twist.
A little twist on it.
Girls like girls where I'm from.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did Kendrick.
And we did Kendrick top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
And
we had one that Tim really liked. Don't tax anyone.
Don't tax anyone. That was a town favorite.
Yeah.
We did the Kanye song on the back with the Hertz logo.
Everybody Hurts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
I don't judge rentals. Everybody Hurts. I don't judge rentals.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had some good ones. And then all the crypto tees, certified crypto boy tees, I think either shipped out this week.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hot one. That one sold well?
Yeah. Did really well. Didn't sell 1 million like I'd hoped, but.
What was the thing you had to get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Only 900,000.
Snuck by.
It's really weird.
And then the Discord's popping, so go check that out.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good jobs.
Love it. We started our job board.
Yeah.
Yep. Job opportunity board.
We take no responsibility for the employees that you may or may not get. Okay, great. Thank you guys. Have a great week. We'll be back on Tuesday. Bye-bye.